Hey ballers, it's Horton here, and as you can see, it's cold and rainy here in Bakersfield, California. Maybe it's warm compared to you guys in the Midwest, but it's cold enough that I gotta wear flannel lined pants with my flip-flops. So we're not skiing today, obviously, the lake's down, whatever. So I wanna talk about something that is really core to my coaching, and I don't put myself up as like a pro coach, but you know, a lot of people come through here and ski with me, and almost every one of them, oddly, I end up giving them the same piece of advice. And I think it's kind of universal in skiing. It's kind of become what I believe to be a true core fundamental. It's not a nitty gritty detail. It's not the thing that's going to get you. It's not going to get you through 41 off. But if you're watching this video, you're probably not running 41 off either. So let's call it stance. I think traditionally people have talked about stack, and stack is shoulders over hips, hips over ankles. And if you're stacked, the real point of stack is two things. Is you're in a powerful position, just like if I was in the gym and I was going to do squats. I'm in a powerful position with my shoulders over my hips and my hips over my ankles. I'm going to go straight down. I'm powerful in that way. So that's super important. And secondly, when I'm stacked, feet side by side as I was in the gym or going through the wakes, if I'm stacked, my weight distribution is equal. I have the same amount of weight going through both feet, right? Now the best skiers in the world, they might be further over that front foot, and they can do that because they are superior athletes. And if you can do that, that is like the step beyond what we're covering here. I think anybody that can do that should be like, you know, you have my respect, right? Rock on. If you can actually get your hips over your front foot. But for the rest of us mortals, most people skiing, most people that are running, just starting to run the slalom course all the way through, you see some guys even running 35 off, whose hips are over their back foot or even further back. And we're all guilty of it. We all get in positions where we're back here, but I don't think people put enough emphasis on how important it is to get back to center. And the controversial thing that I always say to people when I'm skiing with them and they think I'm crazy until they try it is, my comment is, if you want to get your hips forward, it's a biomechanical certainty that if your back leg is straight, your hips will be forward. There's no way for you not to extend this back leg and straighten this knee out and not move your hips forward. And as you move back, your knee, your back knee is always going to end up being bent more than your front knee. We've all had bad exits out of offside. It's a really natural thing to do where you end up here with a front leg straight and a back leg bent. Well, here you're unpowerful and your center of mass is back. So I think to really boil down what I'm advocating is straighter legs. Unless you're a pro skier. If you're a pro skier, you can probably do this. But I can't do it. And frankly, maybe it's on my to-do list next year to try to learn how to get further forward. But just at my working on my foundational skills, I need to be more straight-legged. Now, straight-legged is kind of, you know, people hear that and they think, well, that's crazy. We've been told our whole lives we need to have more knees bent. If you can't think about it that way, I like to think about tall. In fact, for me to be more centered coming to the buoy, my key, maybe not your key, is to think about having my chin higher off the water, or my feet further from my chin. So as I flow out, I'm trying to be up and tall. And what that does is that it elongates my body, and frankly makes me straighten my legs back out and recenters me. If you're trying to get forward, a lot of people do this. This is killing me. A lot of people are thinking, they get told, you got to be forward. They will do this. Now, psychologically, I feel my head and shoulders go forward. My hips are coming back. Well, I've actually moved my weight back on my back leg. What really matters is that I'm flattening out my ski. The bottom line to all of this, besides power, and again, you're powerful when you're tall. You can take a lot of load with your skeletal core. But besides that, the other key is the flatter your ski is in the water, the less drag it has. If you're coming into the buoy, you got the tip down, you're engaging the rocker, and the ski's trying to pull back. When you're after a hookup and you're heading into the wakes or through the first wake, the flatter the ski is, the less drag it has. So for every pound of energy that you're putting into the rope, you're getting power going across, as opposed to just converting boat gas into spray, right? If you're way back on your ski and you're leaning hard, you got all kinds of power in your hands, but you're not really making speed going across. And by the way, when it comes time to edge change, you've got so much load in your hands that you're probably going to do some really unfortunate things. So I hope this is helpful. This is something that I coach incessantly, and people always look at me crazy when I say, hey, straighten your legs, stand up. And a lot of people think about it differently, right? I mean, straight legs sounds crazy. You're never actually going to lock your knees out. But go back and look at some old video of Lucky Lowe. And if you want to be argumentative, you go back and you can look at some video of Jamie Bouchain, and his hips are back and his knees are bent. And I'll tell you that he was one of the most talented athletes in the sport. He was one of the best skiers doing it that way. I don't think you can do it. I highly recommend you don't try to emulate somebody like Jamie Bouchain. And I don't mean any disrespect. The dude was amazing. But you see all these old pictures of him coming to the first wake and he's back here. I don't know why he thought that was better, but I promise you he would have made more speed if he'd done this. So that's my message for the day. Respect to Jamie. Didn't really mean to call you out, buddy. Thank you, ballers.